I want to give Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky a shout out. And look, if you know me, I try to always be fair. And so, look, when somebody deserves to be called out, hey, look, I call it like it is. I try to be honest all the time. But if I'm going to call people out, there's a bit of integrity that comes along with that. So again, if I'm going to call somebody out when they're bad, I also think it's fair to praise them when they're good. And while I stand by everything I've ever said about Mitchell Trubisky, he's played a lot of bad football. He drives me nuts. I will say, the guy had a very, very good game on Sunday against Houston. And look, he made good decisions. And I've been waiting a long time for Trubisky to play that way. There are flashes every once in a while where you go, wow, Trubisky, that looks good. I like it. And, you know, I thought he executed at a very high level on Sunday. I thought he underthrew the ball a couple times, you know, down the sideline or on out routes where I go, I don't know that that's a completion against a better defense. But he did have this awesome throw, like where he's rolling left. He's got Whitney Merciless in his face. He had an underhanded delivery to Cole Kmet. And I thought that was kind of his best play of the day where I went, oh, not bad, Mitch. And look, on Sunday, Trubisky went 24 for 33 passing, had 267 yards, 3 touchdowns. And we're back. We're talking about Trubisky again. And so, number one, on a personal level, Mitchell Trubisky has been through a lot. I mean, I know what it's like to get ripped to shreds. I know I also, by the way, I have been part of the group of people ripping him to shreds. I know the media has been very hard on him. And again, I have an understanding of what it's like to be criticized. I talk for a living. Strong Opinion Sports is my full-time job. And when you make content, every little thing you say gets ripped apart to shreds and criticized and analyzed, and everybody has some kind of feedback, usually negative, to send back to you. I also played quarterback in college. And so I understand what it's like to play quarterback. I understand what it's like to be criticized. You combine them. I think that's what Mitchell Trubisky's been through in the last year and a half, 2, 3, however many years he's been in Chicago. And so with the context of what's gone on in Trubisky's life, for him to put it all together and have a really great game, especially after being benched, I mean, you got benched, you got ripped apart by the media and by your fans. And so that moment, playing really well, having a good game, that's got to feel incredibly good. I'm happy for Mitchell Trubisky. And I mean, it's a cool story when you go, wow, this guy's been dragged through the mud. And he's still got some supporters, I've learned, since Sunday. Because they are loud and chirpy. And I'm sure it had to feel good. Like, hey, I'm still here. I'm still Trubisky. I can still do whatever. Now, on one hand, I walked away from the game going, man, that's cool. Like, Trubisky had a good game. That's awesome. And then my next immediate thought, though, was, man, like, why can't that happen more often? Why did that game, which is quality quarterback play, why did that feel like some amazing rare thing? It shouldn't. That should be what happens every single week. And we just saw the Bears destroy Houston 36-7. It was a beatdown. And for me, it was a reminder, oh yeah, like when Chicago gets good quarterback play, they're capable of a lot. They're a solid football team. They got some good players. They got Allen Robinson, a great receiver. David Montgomery. Jimmy Graham, say what you want. He's got 6 touchdowns this year. He's a beast on the goal line. Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney. A good, solid defense led by Khalil Mack. I mean, there are some players on this Chicago Bears team that are formidable. And so watching the game, Houston against the Bears Sunday, I was reminded that when the Bears get good quarterback play, they're dangerous. And it's actually kind of an exciting thought to go, wow, what if the Bears had a good quarterback? Like, what if every week the Bears had a quarterback who played well? And I want to frame it that way. I'm not trying to say, what if it wasn't Trubisky? I'm trying to say, what if Trubisky played well? Or what if it was a new coach that solved the problem? Or what if the Bears had to bring in a new coach and a new quarterback? My point is that whatever shuffling needs to happen, a new coach or a new quarterback or both, changes need to be made in Chicago. And whatever changes are made, the result needs to be consistently good quarterback play. You need good quarterback play week in and week out. Because this Chicago Bears team clearly can win games. And it's being wasted every week when you have Nick Foles having a bad game or Trubisky having a bad game. I don't care who plays quarterback for Chicago. They need good quarterback play. No matter how you solve that problem, it needs to be solved. Personally, I don't believe Mitchell Trubisky is the answer. He did have a good game. Hey, great. He had a great game against Houston. By the way, they're 4-9. That's not an impressive win in my opinion. But again, it's been a roller coaster in Chicago. Occasionally, Trubisky has a great game, and you go, oh! And right as a lot of people are getting ready to give up hope on Mitchell Trubisky, he'll do like one good thing, distract everybody, and people are like, yes! See? He's got it! And you're like, but for like 7 weeks, he didn't have it. Suddenly, he played one good game, and you're reaching, and your wishful thinking says, Trubisky's our guy long term. It's wishful thinking. That's the word I'm looking for. And so I would not put my faith in Trubisky. I think that he's played more bad than good, and I just look at it and go, it's not worth the trouble anymore of putting anybody through the roller coaster of this Mitchell Trubisky. But again, he did have a good game against Houston, and I applaud him for that. I thought it was really, really cool. But again, that's a 4-9 football team. They're the second to worst defense in the entire NFL. So I don't look at that and go, wow, Trubisky really beat a good... Like, when Trubisky beats Kansas City or New Orleans or any formidable team, hey, there you go. Like, his signature win this year is against the Detroit Lions. Okay? Like, come on, guys. How am I the only sane person left in the world that's like, you really still are on the Trubisky train? I know he's got a good moment occasionally, but you're reaching if you think that good moment twice a year is going to be the consistent quarterback play you need to win you a Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. And maybe you get a good coach or a better coach, and that changes things for Trubisky. I don't know. I don't think Trubisky's the answer, but whatever changes need to happen, the Bears need good quarterback play week to week. They're too good of a football team to have their years of their franchise wasted with bad quarterback play. I don't care how you solve the problem. Mitchell Trubisky or not, it needs to be solved. They need better quarterback play in Chicago. Also, I do want to give a shout-out to Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham is a Bears tight end. They brought him in the offseason in free agency. They gave him a big contract. A lot of people were like, oh, terrible contract. I think I even was like, really? Jimmy Graham? Like, is that going to work? And to his credit, Jimmy Graham has 6 touchdown catches this year. And no matter what you say about the guy, I think everybody can agree, if you watched any Chicago football at all this year, he is a monster on the goal line. He still is to this day. However old he is, I didn't do the math. I don't care. He's older than I would expect him to be doing well in the NFL. And he's still a guy who's hard to match up against the goal line. On the goal line, he's hard to match up against. You throw a jump ball, you throw a fade on the goal line. Jimmy Graham is still a guy that can go up and get the ball. And I think it's kind of cool. I think he's making he had a $16 million contract. There's an opt-out after this year if they want to. He's making $6 million a year. That's about $1 million a touchdown so far this year. They had the salary cap space. I really don't think Jimmy Graham was a bad investment, actually. I really look at it and go, he's paid off to some degree. Like, on the goal line, Jimmy Graham is formidable. And he's winning matchups, and he's got touchdown catches. And I go, wow, that's actually kind of cool and kind of impressive.